Hello, you lovely, lovely people. Welcome back again. This video, I want to talk about like a friend of mine that I met here, and he is now in prison in the Philippines. He's serving time here, and I'll tell you what happened. The guy I'm talking about, he's an American guy, really good-natured man, very kind man. And when I was building this house, when I first bought this land, he used to come over and help me. You know, two hands are better than one. When we first started clearing all the land. And I met him in the rented accommodation where I was at. And it was like a band of apartments. And he was right down the bottom, and he had like a fair bit of land that he had, or he was renting. And he also had, hello, I will get out your way, I will move forward. These people here, incidentally, I think they bought that land that I was talking about the other day. So yeah, he was, he had this land, and he had chickens and all kinds. He was really settled here. But he was with this woman, same age as him, and he was, I think he's 2 or 3 years younger than I am. And I think his wife was the same age as him, or his girlfriend. And they've been together for a long time. Now, as I got to know him a little bit more, he was telling me a little bit about her, that she was like a bit mood swings. Like, one day she'd be good, or a week she'd be good. Oh, my dog's found me. And then she'd turn on him and become nasty and, quite aggressive. And she had 2 daughters. One was, I think, 16, and the other one was 14, I believe. And they used to call my friend Dad, because he's, like, he was with her for quite some time. Anyway, what happened was, stop it, Jackie, stop. What happened was, because of the argumentation that was going on and the aggressiveness from her, and I did see it, when I used to go around there sometimes, because she said, come around, we'll have like a few beers and we'll have something to eat. And sometimes she was lovely, and sometimes she was, like a different person. So I actually saw this change. So what happened? He said to me, Steve, he says, I can't stand this no more. He says, I'm going to have to leave. So I said, well, where are you going to go? I said, what are you going to do with the place there? He said, well, he said, I'll pay 6 months rent for her. But he said, I'm going to have to go. But he said, I can't tell her. I said, what do you mean you can't tell her? He said, well, if I tell her, he says, she's going to kick up a real stink and probably become very aggressive. I said, well, you just can't just go, can you? I said, how are you going to do that? How are you just going to do like a moonlight flip? And he asked me to help him. And I didn't want to. I said, look, I'm not, I said, I like you, you're a good man, good mate, but I said, I'm not getting involved in this. I said, I said, I'm still living here and she's living there. I said, she might flip out on me. So anyway, what he did, he took his stuff out there gradually, clothes, only clothes. And he moved about 10 kilometers away. And they were separated for about a year then. And he kept coming here all the time. He was helping me. And she kept phoning my wife saying, is Manuel there? Well, he was. So Mira said, yes, he's here. He's helping Stephen do the house. But she didn't know where we lived. And she asked Mira for directions. I said to Mira, I said, look, don't get involved in this. I said, tell her that, you don't want her around here when Manuel's around here. Okay. Anyway, Mira changed the number. My wife changed the number because she was contacting all the time. Texting, messaging, and getting nasty to my wife. And starting to get nasty to, about me. Saying that I convinced her boyfriend to leave. Nothing to do with me. So this Filipina would not leave Manuel alone. Now, he found someone else, Manuel. this is where the problem started. He found someone else, and she found out about it, and she bumped into him in Dipolog City. I wasn't there, I was here. When what Emmanuel was telling me after, and all hell broke loose. She was being really aggressive, she was pushing him, and the girlfriend, his new girlfriend, she was telling the girlfriend all sorts of things about Manuel, what he was doing, how he was not a good man, and this, that, and the other. Then what happened? She made an allegation to the police. So she went to the police, this ex-girlfriend of Manuel, and she made an allegation of indecent assault. And this day, me and Manuel, we were meant to be going fishing. And it was a Saturday morning. I'll never forget it. It was a Saturday morning. And this is 3 years back. This is 3 years ago now. And I thought, he's late. And Manuel was never late. He was always on time. He was very punctual. He was in the military. And he got discharged because of an injury on his back. But he was in the military. So he had a good pension as well. And he sent me a message. Because I said, where are you? He was like an hour late. And that wasn't Manuel. Where are you? He said, I don't think I'll be coming today. I said, I've been arrested. What? You've been arrested for what? He said, I don't know the charge yet. And he was in the police station. I needed his cell phone. He was texting. So I said, do you want me to come down there? He said, well, I wait till they process me and wait till they find out what I've been charged with. Anyway, that evening he sent me a message. I was messaging all the time and there was no answer. And he sent me a message and he said, I think I've been charged with indecent assault. What? Indecent assault? With whom? He said, with his ex-girlfriend. I said, what? And yes, he was charged with indecent assault. She couldn't bear the thought of him with someone else. Now, I don't know if it was 100% that he didn't, but I don't think so. I mean, we don't know people, We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but Manuel didn't seem like that to me. But then what does a person who is like that seem like? I don't know. So, he's now in jail. He's in jail now. And this case has been going on for 3 years. Now, his ex-girlfriend said to the judge that she wanted 4 million pesos to drop the charges. And I don't even know you can do that. I didn't even know if you've been charged with something, if you can demand money from the accuser or, the defendant and the plaintiff, together. I don't know if, that's possible, but apparently it was. And Manuel said, no. He said, I'm not paying that. He said, I've got the money, but I'm not paying that because if I pay that, then that looks like I'm guilty. Which, fair point. And so he said, no, I'm not paying it. Even the judge told his lawyer, get Manuel to pay it, and then he's out of here. But he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. Because he said, if I pay that, then it looks like I'm guilty. So this case has been going on for 3 years, guys, and I'm just saying this story, how easy it is for an ex, like a disgruntled ex-partner, to make an allegation in the Philippines, like a Philippine partner, your wife or your girlfriend, and here, because it was a Filipina citizen, they act upon that, which quite right so. But back in our country, while that was going on, you would be out, you'd be on bail, I would imagine. But here, and I think the bail was set at 2 million. No, wrong. There is no bail. When it's indecent assault in the Philippines, you don't get bail. So when you are accused of, sexually assaulting or indecently assaulting, there is no bail. You can't get out until your case is done, guilty or not guilty. So he is still in there now. And I do go and see him occasionally, and he's in the local jailhouse here, and he's lost so much weight. He looks ill, and I said to him, Manuel, you okay? He said, yeah, Steve. He said, I'm okay. He said, this, put this down to our life experience. I said, life experience? I said, why the hell didn't you pay the 4 million pesos that you wanted? And you'd be out. He said, Stephen, he said, I'll never do that. I'll never, ever pay for something to get me out of somewhere which I didn't do. He's holding up well to a degree, but he's lost a lot of weight. And what he's doing, because he gets his pension every month, see? And they allow his girlfriend, his new girlfriend, that all this shit. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, sorry about that, guys. Something attacked me. It attacked me, and the phone spun round. I got all nervous. And so he's got his pension, and what he does is he's bought electric fans for the prisoners in there. So I suppose he's buying his safety. But I don't know when he's coming out. This case has been going on for so long. It's just, it happens, guys. It happens here. I think it happens in our country as well, where a disgruntled girlfriend or something like that might do a similar thing to some people. I don't know. But here, my God, I couldn't think of a worse place to be in prison. He's here. It's getting dark now, guys. Look, it makes a change me being out in the evenings. And I've come out because my little boy is active, and I just wanted to tell you this story. So I think the moral of the story is, if you're going to leave a girl, do it the correct way. Here in the Philippines, don't do it the back door way, which my friend did. He snuck out and all that. And whatever you do, don't get a girlfriend and flaunt her off so this ex-jealous partner can see. Because this can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. And my goodness. I think there was 3 charges. And they're all bad charges. They're all charges where you would never want to be in that situation. So all bad charges. Now, I don't know what's happening. It's still going on. The last time I saw him was about 10 weeks ago. And he said, by the end of July, they should reach a verdict. Because here, there is no jury. It's only the judge. I believe, so my friend told me. He said, Stephen, there's no jury. He said, it's down to one person. The decision, guilty or not, is down to one person only. So whatever this judge decides, and also, I forgot to tell you this, his ex-partner, who made the allegation, she is related to the mayor in a different place, in a place called Rojas. So she's related to the mayor. So he's pulled a lot of strings, to get him where he is. He's still in prison now. So what you're doing is making lawyers rich, because every time you have the hearing, he was telling me it was costing him 8,000 pesos. He was having hearings all the time. He was just keep getting adjourned. So God knows how much it was costing him. But he said to me, he said, Stephen, the best case scenario is, he said, is not guilty. This is the best case. But he says, they will still probably deport me. He said, because although I've been not guilty, he said, the way they see it here, he will still be classed as maybe an undesirable. Now, I thought you would have to be charged with something, proper charged and sentenced to something, or, to be classed as an undesirable. I don't know. But that's what happens here, people, You've got to keep your nose clean. You've got to... That's what I'm saying. Is it not better to stay single sometimes? Or maybe not live with the Filipina? It's too late for me, I'm married. And I wouldn't change my situation, but I think for some people, it's worth considering all these things, because there are some really, really jealous people, men and women, it's just the same. And if they, especially foreigners like us, because the law doesn't really protect us, not really. And because of all this shit that's been going on with other vloggers and that, getting themselves in, making a show of themselves, you know, it looks bad on us. So maybe the police are going to start looking at us differently. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, you got to keep your nose clean here. Keep your nose clean to the best of your ability anyway. And if you do split up with a partner, what I would have done, I would have split up and I would have gone to a different part of the Philippines. Out of sight, out of mind. I wouldn't have stayed in the same city, knowing that she was a flipper, knowing that she was a Jack the Flipper, you know. But he didn't. He didn't. And he was flaunting his new girlfriend off. I know he was doing that because I said to him, man, well, I think you're doing it wrong in here, mate. I think you're doing it wrong. And I said, keep a low profile. And I said to him, go to a different part. I said, even like 30 kilometres away. Don't keep coming into Dipolog City, because his ex-partner worked in the city as well. So whew, this is just like a little warning, I think, to people. Whatever you do, don't get yourself put in prison over here over an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife, because it can happen in the Philippines. If that partner is a Filipina citizen, she can make an allegation and they have to act upon it. And that's what happened. And like I said, he was a lovely bloke. Still is a lovely bloke. He used to come over here and help me regular. Cleaning and that. And he always used to bring all bits and pieces over, and he was bringing me this and he was lending me power tools. So at the time I didn't have that many power tools, you know, like a strimmer, you know, to to trim everything off. He's a really good guy. But the thing is, if he gets found guilty, that's it. That's it. He will probably spend 20, 25 years in prison here. And as I said, he's a couple of years younger than me. So what would he be then? Oh my God, he'd be in his 70s, wouldn't he? He'd be in his mid-70s if he gets found guilty. I hope and pray that he doesn't, or unless he did do it. I don't. Look, guys, you know, I'm just saying my face value of him, and known him for a few years. He didn't say anything like that, but he did tell me his wife was a flipper, and she certainly was that, because I saw it myself. Look, here's the little piggy. Look, free-range piggy. Just rooting around, no problem at all. I couldn't have animals, because here animals is money, you know, to them, and they will sell them, and that will be slaughtered soon. If I had animals, I couldn't kill them. You know, if I had pigs or chickens, they would become pets to me. I wouldn't be able to kill them. So that's why I don't have livestock. You know, you get pigs and, oh, I can't part with that. No, I can't. So I don't have livestock anyway. But guys, that's it. It's just a very, very, I think, a sensitive video, really. But I just thought I would let you know, just in case you might find yourself in a similar predicament. I hope to pray to God you don't. But anyway, guys, stay safe. And like I always say, you know, whatever you do, try and do it well. God bless you all, and see you next time. Thank you, people. Bye-bye.